What if I told you you've been alive all this time, but you've never actually existed? Strange, isn't it? You wake up, you eat, you work, you sleep. You laugh when people expect you to laugh. You nod when you're supposed to agree. You pretend you're fine when you're rotting on the inside. From the outside, you look like a functioning human being. But here's the problem. None of it is you. Not really. You think you're alive, but you're not. Not yet. Most people live their entire lives wearing masks stitched together from other people's expectations. A voice that isn't yours tells you what to want, what to fear, and who to be. Parents, teachers, society, they handed you a script. And you've been performing it so long, you forgot it was an act. So let's be brutally honest. What you call life might just be a carefully decorated cage. The job you hate but can't quit. The relationship you drag out because silence terrifies you more than loneliness. The fake smiles, the "I'm fine" lies. The endless scrolling at 2 a.m. trying to numb an emptiness you refuse to name. Congratulations, you're alive, but you don't exist. Maybe you felt it, that quiet dread when the noise dies down. The screen goes black, and suddenly you're stuck with yourself. That's when the whispers creep in. Who are you? Who's making these choices? Is this really my voice, or just an echo of someone else's dream? Most people don't answer. They distract themselves, work harder, buy more, pretend faster. Because stopping, even for a second, means facing the truth. They have no idea who they are. And then life breaks you open. A betrayal, a burnout, a loss you didn't see coming. Or worse, the slow realization that you never truly loved yourself enough to begin with. That's the fracture, the moment your polished little identity starts to collapse. Painful? Yes. Terrifying? Absolutely. Necessary? Always. Because until you break, you'll never see what's hiding behind the mask. But here's the catch. Mirrors are dangerous things. Look deeply enough, and you don't just see the good parts. You see the shadows too. The anger you smothered under politeness. The envy you dressed up as ambition. The loneliness you buried under busyness. The raw, ugly parts you swore you didn't have. And yet, they've been running you all along. The irony? The shadow you run from is the missing piece you've been searching for. You don't become whole by denying it. You become whole by facing it. That's what finding yourself really means. Not posting pastel self-love quotes online. Not buying the next life coach's 21-day miracle program. It means crawling into the dark corners of your mind and admitting what you've always known but never dared to say out loud. Of course, it's easier not to. Easier to keep drifting through routines like a ghost, existing without existing. Safer too. But here's the bill for that safety. Numbness, emptiness. The kind of hollow that money, noise, and fake positivity can't cover forever. One day you'll wake up, alive but already dead inside. The moment you finally find yourself, everything shifts. Not because life suddenly becomes simple, it won't. In fact, it gets harder. Because once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. You start tearing off the layers that never belonged to you. The toxic friendships disintegrate. The fake ambitions lose their shine. The lies you built your identity on, gone. It feels like destruction, but it's actually the first breath of creation. And this is why so many avoid it. The cost is everything. Finding yourself means losing the version of you that made everyone else comfortable. People won't clap for your awakening. They'll say you've changed. They'll call you selfish. They'll whisper you've lost your mind. But the truth is, you finally found it. So now the question isn't whether life has meaning. The question is whether you're ready to exist. Or will you keep hiding behind borrowed identities, mistaking numbness for strength, pretending that drifting through life is the same thing as living? Here's the cruel joke of existence. Being born isn't the beginning of your life. That's just biology. Life begins the moment you rip off the mask, stare into the shadow, and finally meet yourself. Until then, you're just haunting your own skin. You think you're alive, but you're not. Not yet. So I'll ask you again, who are you, really? Life doesn't begin when you're born. It begins when you finally find yourself.